The conversation about NBA free agency 2022 has pretty much reached a standstill, and in large part because a 6'11 phenom of a scorer, arguably one of the top 15 greatest players of all time, Kevin Durant, remains on the open market a month after demanding a trade out of Brooklyn. The Nets so far have been unable to find a package to their liking for Kevin Durant. And since KD is out there but not yet traded, free agency has reached a halt. I was reading a pretty interesting article on ESPN.com from a senior writer in Zach Lowe, who does a phenomenal job. And boy, this bad boy is quite the read. In this article, Lowe revealed one of his major reasons why he believes Durant has not been traded. And though KD's 33 years of age, this reason from Zach is not age-related. I'll read it to you from this ESPN article. Lowe said even before the Minnesota Timberwolves warped their trade market by flipping 5 draft assets for Rudy Gobert, several smart people around the league termed the very act of trading Durant as impossible in conversations with ESPN. There was no way to approximate fair value. A player of Durant's caliber with so many years locked in had never before become available. The Nets are probably waiting for Durant's cap to realize that, and maybe for Durant to retract his trade request. The Nets have not given up on this scenario, sources say. Suitors are waiting to see if Brooklyn concludes that kind of reunion is not possible. Durant could accelerate the process by publicly or privately explaining his trade request and emphasizing that he will not back off. Would such a stance mean sitting out, as Ben Simmons, ironically a Brooklyn Nets teammate of Durant's right now, did last season? Lowe said he doesn't know. League insiders repeat the trope that Durant is, quote, not wired that way, that he loves the game too much, but that is speculation. Time will tell. So again, the biggest piece coming out of Zach Lowe's article is teams are afraid of Kevin Durant's years left on his deal. Think about that. In theory, you think KD having 4 years left on a new deal around $200 million in total that's about to kick in starting this season would be a positive. But Lowe is saying that's actually a deterrent in a Kevin Durant trade in this scenario because we've never seen it. And teams are thinking, well, if KD, who's in Brooklyn after leaving the Golden State Warriors and wanting to become a Brooklyn Net, a team that allowed him to rehab following his torn Achilles on their dollar, by the way, where his media company is set up with his manager, Rich Kleiman. He's playing with one of his closest friends in the league, a guy that he's working out with right now in Kyrie Irving, playing for a team that was able to acquire James Harden. If all of these factors can't keep KD in Brooklyn playing for the Nets, then who's to say in 2 seasons KD's not going to want out of my team? In 1 season maybe, in 6 months, in 4 weeks, a day after the trade, teams are pretty much letting you know that they are afraid to acquire a first ballot Hall of Famer, one of the easiest bucket getters we got in league history, who's got 4 years left on his deal, which in most scenarios you look at as a positive, but because of some of KD's quirkiness throughout his career, specifically of late, it's actually deterring teams away from making trade requests and legitimately giving up some of their youth foundation pieces to acquire Kevin Durant.
Tatum's still dealing with that groin injury, remember, so we'll see how long they're going to let it ride as Durant just keeps on pouring it in.